In this video, we're going to look at an example of a quadratic surface that's been shifted. So this one asks us to classify the surface and sketch 4y squared plus z squared minus x minus 16y minus 4z plus 20 equals 0. So the pieces here that are telling us that we've got some shifting going on is, notice that we have the y squared and the z squared, but we also have some linear terms in y and in z. So that's what's telling us that we're going to shift some direction in the y direction and some direction in the z direction. This linear x all by itself does not tell us that because we don't have a corresponding x squared to go along with it. Alright, so how do we handle the shifting ideas stuff here? Well, we're going to remember our standard forms look like either all three of the variables have been squared or two of the three variables have been squared. So in this case, it must be two of the three variables that have been squared. So we're going to complete the square on each of those two variables. So the first thing we'll do is gather x's on, the x and the 20 on one side, and then the y's and z's together on the other. Completing the square on the y pieces, we'll factor out the 4. When we factor out a 4, we're left with a minus 4y. So to complete the square, I'm going to divide this by 2 and square it to get a plus 4. Likewise, over here, I need to divide the 4 by 2 to get 4. Or excuse me, divide the 4 by 2 to get 2, square to get 4. Now, of course, I can't just add things randomly on one side without doing it to the other. So if I go to the other side, notice that we've added 4 times 4 in this first piece. So really, I've added 16. Over here, we've just added 4. All right. So notice that the minus 20 plus 16 plus 4 cancel. So we're left with x equals 4 times the quantity y minus 2 squared plus z minus 2 quantity squared. We recognize now that this is the equation of an elliptic paraboloid. It's just been shifted 2 units in the positive y direction and 2 units in the positive z direction. Remember, it basically does the opposite of the sign here. So minus 2 on the inside means we're going 2 units in the positive y. Likewise for z. So draw your elliptic paraboloid and just move it over 2 units in the y, which is the green axis, up 2 units in the z, which is the blue axis, and again it's opening in the x-axis direction.